guys, I'm Gemma, crochet artist at Cottonwood Crafts. Thanks for joining me again, or for the first time. Hi. So I basically go over what I crochet, markets that I attend, things like that. Just a bit of life. If any of that interests you, stick around. So this will be a recap of my last 2 markets I did, and a little bit of what I'm working on at the moment. So I did a Friday and Saturday market this weekend, just gone. Usually I would have just been doing the Friday one, so that's my usual market every Friday back in my hometown. And then I got a bonus market on the Saturday at the Royal Mint. So if you saw my last video, this is repeat information, I'm sorry. The Friday market that I usually go to was really good. It was, the weather was great. We had a bit of rain, but nothing heavy. Saw loads of people. It was nice. It was enjoyable. Oh, I made a new craft friend who sat next to me. So we had a chat. And the same happened again actually on the Saturday. The lady that was next to me was the Welsh cake lady. Apologies for the dog. Was the Welsh cake lady from the Church Village market I had done. So we had a lovely chat. So the Friday market, I did sell quite a bit. Like I said, it was just really nice. It's my regular one. I do think that the fact it's payday, it's end of the month, helped. Especially since there were a lot of locals. So that is to be expected, kind of, but repeat locals. So there's a gentleman from the Greggs across the road who, when I first went to the market, bought a load of plants. Like, I do the hanging plants. I pop pictures in if I can remember. And so he came over and he bought something from each and every stall, which I thought was, amazing support. And then another 2 ladies did exactly the same, sort of bought from every stall that was there, which I just thought was so lovely. The support was outstanding. So I go through what I sold there. Sorry, I'm looking down because that's where my notes are. So I sold the strawberry fruit bat sold. I only just made it. I made it to go with my fruit bats, if you were here previously, and it sold straight away. I sold my larger Highland cow, the hanging plant, to the nice gentleman from Greggs. What I call the African rain frog. Now, it's a pattern by... It'll be down below, or if you've seen my last video, it was in that one. Oh, I think I've got one here, so that's going to be later on in the video. I sold the little Welsh dragon. Now, that is Crochet by Jenna's pattern from her book. I do slightly modify the back. So again, if I've got a picture, I'll pop it in. But the first time I made it, the bobble stitches down his back drove me insane. So I was never going to make this dragon again. It was not an enjoyable experience the first time around. So I'd seen someone, and I'm ever so sorry, I can't remember who it was, who skipped that step and did just surface crochet down the back of the dragon. So that's what I did. Much more enjoyable. Highly recommend if bobble stitches drive you mad. They just wouldn't line up for me. So that sold to a lovely set of ladies. So they were from Scotland, so they were visiting down. And we had a lovely chat, and they were talking to all of the stalls. So again, they sort of visited everyone and really, really engaged. So they bought the dragon because I did it in red and white for the Welsh dragon, and they loved it. So they took it as like a souvenir, which I thought was amazing. I sold 3 axolotls, my blue, my pink, and my purple. And then I sold another loaf cat. This was I literally made it sat at the market. So this is where I made friends with the lady next to me. She was selling laser cut signs and things, and if I can find your information, I'll pop it down below. Just if you're in the UK and you need something along those lines, because she was lovely. It's so nice. And so I finished up this black and white loaf cat. I gave him gorgeous gold glitter eyes, the equi ones, the cute in the corner. And just as I finished him, I just had the tail left to go. And there was like half hour left of the market. She was like, I need that cat. Did you just finish that cat? And I was like, he's nearly finished. So she's like, I'll take it. She's like, I'm so sorry, you just finished it, but I'm having him. I was like, oh, okay. So she's got a friend who's got a cat that looked exactly like it. She's like, he's gonna love it. So I spent the last 20 minutes of the market then crocheting this tail as fast as I possibly could to attach to this cat. So that was the last item I sold. And like I said, I literally made it while I sat there. So I figured out that I can make a loaf cat and a half while at these markets. So obviously I'm not crocheting constantly. I'm chatting to customers, and we take food breaks, and if somebody buys something, blah blah blah. So yeah. So I did make another. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sidetrack. I'm using a new camera stand setup recommended by my husband because he wants to do some sort of marketing-y things. Because that's what he does for a living anyway. And it's on follow me, so it just did a weird wiggly thing. So I'm really hoping that was okay, guys. Let me know so I can feed back to him. I do think I can turn that off though. So if it does bother people, I can sort that out, I think. Back to topic, if I can. Love cats. So I did make one at my Saturday market as well, and he's just got to sew his tail on, which it is made. Ooh, I've really got to stop moving my head, I think. Yeah, and he's got the green glittery safety eyes. So I kind of like Googled. I'm not a cat person. I'm really sorry. I'm a dog person, but so I don't know about colours of cats and things is where I was going with that. So I needed to Google what colour cat eyes are. So they came up with like greens and blues and golds and oranges, I think. So green-eyed cat. I really like him. So I worked on that at the second market. So the second market on Saturday at the Royal Mint. So if you saw my last video, I was so excited for this market. The location is supposed to be amazing, and it was set to be a nice day, which did not happen. So yeah, basically we got to the market and it was raining. So we were all setting up in the rain. It was cold. Not a great start. But I was still positive. I was still happy to be there. We had one vendor no show, and they didn't even let the organizer know. So like I've said about this market, if you've watched my previous video, they're really nice people. And so obviously they chat to us and things. So I was like, oh, there's an empty space. Is everything okay? And she's like, no, they didn't even bother to call. So she'd rung them to check, you okay? You on your way or something happened? And this person was just like, oh, no, come in. She's like, were you going to tell me that? The market had started at this point, you know, technically that you were supposed to be there and everything. And yeah, so basically no show, no communication, just rude. I know life happens. But to just not call or anything, not think that, you know, there are people who will be worried. But anyway, so there was a gap. But it turned out fine. The Welsh cake lady just moved from the side of me to the other side of me, and I got ooh, sorry. And I got the end gazebo. Sorry guys, I think my camera just cut me off, so go again. And I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, so I was on the side. I ended up being the end gazebo. Okay. I don't think this new stand thing is going well yet. So yeah, so it did dry up. The rain and everything did stop, but it was very quiet. So basically, this is kind of like a museum / factory, I guess. It mints money for UK currency. Actually, I don't even know if it does that anymore, but definitely the museum side. And so we're in like the courtyardy bit. So people going in and out for day trips. There's a tour. But market wise, we were really, really quiet. So this was my worst market I've ever done. I sold absolutely nothing. I didn't sell a thing. It was really hard. But yeah, I was super excited for it. I'd heard amazing things, but I just think they weren't my crowd. So even the people that were coming, they were of a higher age demographic. And obviously selling plushies and things, it's just not my audience, I don't think. So yeah, so I did terribly. Don't think I'm going to return to that market. Now, I usually can't get into that market because there's a crocheter who attends. So I'm also wondering if it was a loyalty thing. Because obviously, like, there are staff and things in the building, and they've got a cafe, so I guess people can just go as a visit to the cafe. But yeah, nothing at all. So yeah, not much I can say about that. My husband enjoyed himself because one of the other vendors is a 3D printer, and we have 3D printers, so but we do it as a hobby, not as sales. And they're both nerds, so I lose my husband for like 30 minutes plus when this other vendor's at a market because they go gossip. So yeah, so he was well enjoying himself. But yeah, it happens. So I don't have a list for what I sold there. What else? Oh, so on to what I have made since. So we saw my loaf cat. I've made a few more loaf kitty. Some of them need tails. So I've made. Ignore my leftover strand that I haven't popped in yet. So I don't have loads of the coloured safety eyes. So I sometimes just use the black ones. I usually just use the black ones, but I do like the glittery ones. But so it's a new colour grey. Now the other things I have might look a bit weird because they are for specific purposes. Sorry, I'm looking around because I can't find anything. So this is a brown chocolate loaf cat, Annie Caraway pattern. So you might be wondering why there's a ribbon. So here in the UK, to sell plushies especially, you have to adhere or meet certain criteria. So you have to have certificates for the yarn, for the chemical composition safety. You've got to do tests on how secure your joins are, and you've got to test that your safety eye stay into a certain weight pull-in. So when you do a test one, you pop the ribbon behind the eye and put the weight on it and see if the eye stays in. So whenever you get a new pattern, a new component, or do a new size, it needs testing. So I've not used this yarn before, so I'm retesting my Love Cat pattern with this yarn, which means I've got to retest the whole thing. You've also got to do a flammability test if it's over a certain length. So they are sacrificial plushies. They don't survive, usually, the process. So this little guy, I'm trying not to get attached to, is a sacrifice. I've also got, so I've done Highland cows before in the large Highland cow, but there is a mini version, so I'm halfway through a sacrifice. He's got ears left to go, the muzzle left to go, and his curls. But he's not for inventory. He's going to be a sacrifice. I've also made, sorry guys, who's behind the camera, a smaller version of the axolotl, and I've changed how I'm attaching the gills. So I've got one of those to sacrifice as well. It was all sacrificed today. So we'll need to get some stock done. But because I've purchased new yarns and I've got some new sizes going, I need to do all the due diligence as well. I think that's it for what I've been crocheting so far. Yes. I am hoping later in the week to do the I want to say spread the love, but I'm going to do a video on it anyway, so we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Yeah, so like, subscribe. It's so weird. And hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you soon. Bye.